Before the video starts, I would just like to give a huge shout out to my duo partner Nugget. He has really helped me a lot to push this strategy of True Labs to its absolute limits. So yeah, thanks. Hey guys, it's Hawk, and in this video I'm going to be doing a 5k spare run solo. I'm just going to be showing how what my placements are and what I'm doing in the actual run itself. And keep in mind that this is my gold stats and my morphs are very late game, so this won't apply to most people. So hopping in with my loadout, I use Night Knight, Shiren, Moldessa, Glide, and Temi for my normal monsters. And then for my special souls, I'm using Azrael, Mettaton EX, and Neo. And the morphs I'm using a Night Knight morph, a Shiren morph, a Moldessa morph, a Glide morph, and a Temi morph. So I've got a lot of morphs right here that most people don't have. And then I'm also using a Mettaton EX morph. So this just shows how late game that I kind of am right now, and that most people won't be able to really do what I'm doing in this showcase. And then my gold multiplier, I have 389% gold multiplier right now. Most of you won't have this high of a gold multiplier either, so it's going to be pretty hard to replicate what I'm doing in this actual run. I'm just really showing what I actually do. And then for my soul, I'm using determination. I'll just show you my determination real fast. I just basically put one into the right, and then just went full left. Yep, there's my treat. And let's just hop it right into this. So I'm not gonna be. This is mainly just gonna be uncut gameplay. I might do a few cuts here and there because for the most part, True Labs isn't very interesting anymore. It used to be pretty fun at the beginning, but now it's for higher end players. It's just kind of the same thing over and over again. What I mean by that is, you used to have a chance of dying. You used to have a 20% to 30% chance of dying if you played bad. But now if you have a pretty insane gold multiplier like I have, and you have a bunch of morphs, it's basically impossible to die. It sucks a little bit that it's kind of boring now, but that's just how it is. So the reason I'm using determination right now instead of the other souls is recently determination got a pretty big buff. So instead of it not working, determination actually works in True Labs. And it's a pretty powerful effect too, since it will spare every enemy on screen that's currently in the route, and it also will double your gold. Now, I'm not really interested in the doubling the gold part, but what I am interested is doubling or sparing every enemy on the screen. And you'll see at about 5k spares. So just hopping into it, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to put my Mettaton right here. And I actually have enough gold to afford it right off the bat just because of my gold multipliers. So I'm going to put it right here. And this is going to be my permanent spot for Mettaton EX. And basically the reasoning for this is at level 5 it'll hit this whole U. And so the reason I'm putting it up here instead of not at the back is because this path right here is a path that's going to kill me. This path will always kill me every time. So I'm just hyper focusing into defending this from these memory heads from this path right here. And you'll see all my placements in a short second after I can get up my farm. And well, you may be wondering, why am I using Temis? Because normally you don't really bring Temis to a True Labs run. Well, basically I'm trying to afford Azrael as fast as possible, so I'm bringing Temis. Keep in mind my Temis are also pretty cheap because I have that 30% discount. So quick tip for Temis: save up 3k if you have the title, and 4.5k if you have the if you don't have the title, because you can get a level 2 right off the bat, and it will give you that 500 instead of just a 100 ping. So you'll basically make about 400 more gold. It's it's nothing much, but it's something. And so if you see right here, I'm stacking my Temis just. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a Shiren right here eventually, and I'm gonna Shiren buff my Temis so I can make a little bit more gold. And also the optimal way to level up Temis is just getting them to 3 one by one. So my first one I got to level 3, and then I'm gonna get this next one to level 3 before I move on to the next one. So I got 3k, place another one. A little bit of lag, it's fine though. And so most people, you won't be able to get this many Timmys just because my gold is absolutely through the roof. At 389 is pretty crazy compared to most people's. So if you're expecting to just like have the same load as me and the same stuff, you're probably not gonna work. This strategy probably won't work for you. But this is just for like late game and showcasing all my placements and what I'm doing when I'm aiming for high spares. Like get another Timmy stack here maybe. There we go. And make another one. Yeah, whatever. I'll just place it. I'll just stack it normally. So now I have all level 3 farms. I'm just gonna place my first glide right here. Also glide stacking. Start at the corner, go in a little bit to the left, and go up. That's how you glide stack. Just a quick showcase. I'm gonna get this glide to level 4 before I upgrade anything else. And then I'm probably gonna try to max all my farms. I'm just laying out my game plan right now. I don't really have any. There's no shot of me dying really, because I'm making quite a bit of gold right now. I have 5 farms in A, and all these spares are kind of just racking up my gold. And so, quick tip: if you're actually struggling in the early game, what you can do is, if you have some kind of tower up here that's like popping off, or like for your early game, what you can do is you can sell it. And like if you're around like 1 to 20 spares, you can sell it, and then since your level of the enemy is directly tied to your spare count, your spares won't go up, so therefore your enemy level will just be like 1 to 2. But I'm not really using that because I don't really need to. So I got a level 4. Now I'm just gonna max all my farms. Some more lag. It's unfortunate, but whatever. It shouldn't affect me too much. And then once you're, by the way, for a little quick Timmy tip, once your Timmys are all level 3, just up them 1 by 1 to level 5. So don't upgrade them all to level 4 and then to level 5. Just go to 5 1 by 1. That is the most efficient way. This door should be opening. Yep. So this door opens around 64, 65-ish spares. Just keep that in mind if you're struggling in early game, but you shouldn't really be anymore. So I'm gonna get a Shire in here. I'm gonna max it to level 4. Or not really max, but you know, get to level 4. And then I'll place another glide just to up my defense. So it's on the level 4, so I'm gonna try to max my farms here. Then I'm gonna try to place down my Neo so I can start generating dust, because I'm gonna need it to be a pretty high level. Put it right there. That's fine. And is it fine? Yeah, it should be fine. Just a reminder that this is for high spares only. This is not really helpful for anyone just trying to get 1,000 spares in Mew Mew. This is only for people trying to hit like super high like amounts of spares. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna place 2 glides right here. Level 4. And you're wondering why am I placing both my glides up here instead of in the back? It's literally because this is the best glide spot ever. See, it hits this whole U and goes into this path right here a little bit. So these 2 glides are really essential for this. So if you see this glide spot right here, it only has like kind of a 90-degree, like it only has 190 like it hits. And this one it hits a full 180 U, which you really just want to keep defend this path right here. This path is your priority to defend. So I'm gonna start lining up knights here. This is my personal favorite knight spot right here because it should hit like basically the whole map. Just gonna stack them real fast. There we go. I'm gonna put a Sharner here, get it to level 4. I'm gonna max these. Is that one in? Nope, I'll just max this right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an Azrael right now. And if you're wondering why I'm gonna put an Azrael right now, it's literally because I just need to generate dust. And I like to put my Azrael about right under this door, right next to this door. I personally think that's the best for determination users. If you're a determination user, I'd recommend this door right here for Azrael always. If you're bravery, I'd probably say like right here is the best, where I'm jumping. That's because bravery with an Azrael, you'll basically hit the whole map from right here, somewhere in this area. But determination, I like to put mine right here. So I'm just gonna line it up. That should be fine. Put it on stronger just in case Mew Mew comes. Then I'm gonna finish up maxing these. You don't really want to level up this Mettaton EX yet, because if you get this to 5 or 6, depending on your soul, it is going to it's going to kill everything in this area, so that your Azrael cannot generate dust, which you need this Azrael to be generating dust constantly. Put my last glide right here. Then I'm gonna did I put a Sharon up here? No, I didn't. I need to put one right here. Then I'm gonna move this Sharon. Actually, I don't really like the spot. Move it right here. Yeah, that's fine. One of my molds right here. Max these. And if you're wondering why I'm not using any single target, it's like why I'm not using McGospels and why I'm using Modestas instead. Well, that's because in most cases you're going to be fighting against multiple memory heads, in that case, things like McGospel and Riverbirds, you'll just die to. But if you're fighting against multiple, so 2 or more memory heads, Modestas are always your favorable pick, which in most cases you will be fighting multiple memory heads. It's just RNG. But in this case, you're going to want pure AoE. That's why I'm not running Asgore, which a lot of people like to run, but I like to just go full AoE. So basically that's all of my placements so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to level up all of this to... Right now I'm going to focus my Azrael level 5. Once I get my Azrael level 5, it's basically just a waiting game until around like 4,000 spares. And the reason I'm marshalling this Azrael level 5, and I'm not upgrading my Metatons, is in the off chance that Mad New spawns, I'm gonna need this Azrael to be leveled up. Because if I don't have this Azrael, at least level 4 I think it is, I'm gonna die. Which I'd prefer not dying, you know? It's always good not to die, in my opinion. Also, if you wanted to switch out your Moldestas for Parsnip, that is totally fine. I'd recommend putting them right in the middle of this U right here, because with a Sharon buff, it would hit this whole U, which is actually pretty good for Parsnip. And another tip you can use with Parsnip, you can actually early defend with Parsnip if you have the morph. Instead of me defending with Metaton EX, I could put a Parsnip like Summer right here, and I could early defend with him. So you don't really need the Metaton EX title, but it will help you a lot. I don't really like this Sharon spot. I'm gonna adjust my placements real fast. This should buff everything, yeah. So I'm gonna place a Sharon like this. Yeah, that's fine. Just trying to get the optimal slow time for this path right here, because I really want to slow down memory heads from this. It just needs to happen. So basically, getting to 5,000 spares, it's really just depending on placements. Like how good are your placements is basically what carries a run to 5,000 plus. And then around like the last 50 spares, it's basically just pure RNG. So I could either get like 5350 this run, or I could get like 5250 just because RNG decided that I will die earlier. So as you can see, this is not like what I'm doing. It's not that entertaining and interesting. This used to be like pretty tight on getting your Azure to level 5 and solo, but now it's pretty easy with, at least with my buffs and titles. For other people, it will still be challenging, but if you have like a pretty high gold multiplier like I do, and if you have like some morphs like I do, then it's really not that hard. It'd be nice if they made some kind of harder difficulty, and it would actually stay hard for the whole remainder of its lifetime. Because True Labs has significantly gotten less difficult. I'm gonna actually get this to max. Level 5, I mean, not level 6. I'm kinda getting overrun back here, so. And if Mew Mew happens to spawn, I might have to end up selling some of my towers just so I can get Azrael to level 5. Because I really need Azrael to kill Mew Mew. Because if I don't, I'd have to use Omega Flower, which that would instantly be a really bad choice. Because you really just want to save Omega Flower for when you're about to die. You don't want to use it after you die, there's a reason for that. I'm sure most of you can figure it out, because most of you are pretty smart. But I will show you why once I get to that point, which for me it's going to be like 2 hours. Not really 2 hours, like an hour. Because once I get this to level 5, it's really easy. Like you'll see really shortly, actually. Once I get this level 5, it's just gonna nuke the whole map. Just boom, there we go. And now this should be really easy. So if you see my placement, you can place it a little bit more to the left if you wanted, but I just had it right there. Just so you can cover this tiny corner right here. It doesn't really matter, honestly, but this path, I think it covers the most area for determination. You might be able to get a path to cover this spot, but then the downside of this is this path right here. This last path would kind of overrun you, which you don't really want happening. And let's see if Mad Mew spawns. She does? Okay. Well, I guess we get to see Mad Mew die. I'm just gonna finish upgrading everything just pretty quickly. Anything that's not upgraded, I'm gonna upgrade real quick. And then I'm gonna get my Azrael to level 6, and then it's just a waiting game until I get to the point where I'm almost dead. So this exact case is why I rushed my Azrael, is so I could be able to kill Mad Mew. Because I really do not want to sacrifice my Omega Flower for her. And once she gets in range with my Azrael, you'll see her health just start to chunk. Azrael really just carries you. I'm not even lying. Azrael and Omega Flower are your 2 carries in True Labs. Yeah, I see those big chunks. That's Azrael doing his work. Until she'll be dead shortly. Yep, there you go. So I think I'm going to do a cut right here. Basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to level this up to 6. level my Metatoni up to 6, level my Azrael up to 6, and then I'm gonna wait for around like 4,000 spares because this defense will get me around there. So I will be back whenever I'm back. Okay guys, we're back around 30 minutes later, and I'm at around 3,500 spares right now. And so I've gotten my Neo to level 6 and my Azrael to level 6, and I've also moved a Timmy right here. Basically, this is just a way for me to determine when to place my Omega. So this Timmy is placed right on Azrael's outer range. And so basically what happens is once a memory head crosses into this, I'm going to place my Omega Flowey. I'm not going to wait for the gold, the double gold when you reset. Because basically, if I can explain it real fast, at this point, you're going to have an Omega for the rest of the run. So you don't need that double gold. So we're going to save it to spare every enemy on the map to just like get that 100 to 2-ish, 100-ish extra spares. So basically nothing has changed except for the Temmie placement. So everything is the same as my placements. And I'm just waiting to Omega. I'm actually gonna have to Omega pretty soon. I'm gonna Omega around this area if you see my cursor. Basically in the middle, and I'm gonna try to get it in the I'm gonna put it in the Sharon range so I can buff it a little bit. So I think this one might cross here, which I'm going to have to Omega if it does. That one's probably gonna cross. Okay, I'm going to actually Omega right here. Yeah, I'm gonna Omega. Yep, so I placed my Omega around 3,500. I dumped about 22.5 mil-ish into it. And it should stay for the rest of the run. So this is the range. It basically covers the whole map. Like, there's just a few spots that doesn't cover, but the main path that I'm trying to cover is this path right here. This is the most important path to defend, as I've said, because this path will kill you. No matter what, it's going to kill you. Because all these memory heads that are getting this far are coming out of that path right now. So you see, like this memory head right here, this memory head, they're all coming from that front entrances. If I can explain it real fast. So they're both the same level from these two entrances, this door and this like hallway-ish. But this path is more dangerous because there's way more time for the enemies to be hit from this long straight path, and there's way less time for these memory heads to be hit. So all these memory heads are going to get way further than the memory heads coming from this door right here. So that's why I've set up these glides here, this Metatoni X here, just so I can do as much damage as I can to these before they get up front. And also, if you see my night placements, they do come into the path a little bit. It's basically I'm just trying to defend this path as much as I can. And also the reason I'm not using McGospels or Reaper Birds, and I'm using Moldessa instead, this is because AoE is much more important in True Labs. This is so in most cases you're going to be fighting against multiple memory heads, and anytime you have multiple memory heads, AoE is going to be way more important than a single target unit. And there's also the fact that your single target units might end up getting mixed up with the targets that you don't need to be hit. So if you have Reaper Birds over here, they might just end up shooting like some lemon breads that are getting through, or some like other Reaper Birds that are coming in front, which you don't want. You want your single targets to hit these memory heads, and if they hit any other enemy, they're just instantly not doing anything. So that's why I just use these instead. Because see, like these 4 memory heads right here, if I was using in a like Asgore and McGospels right here, they literally wouldn't do anything to the back 2 basically. They kill the front 2, and then these next 2 would just run through. That's just a quick rundown of why I'm only using AoE. It's so I can just keep prolonging how much I'm surviving. Because if you're just only attacking that front memory head, the back memory heads will just tank, or that front memory head basically just acts as a tank or the back ones. So when you have all AoE units, that becomes way less of a problem because you're just gonna hit everything. And so this should get me about to like 5,000, 4,900, I think around that area. I might be able to hit the top solo run right now. I had a 4.2k solo run, but this should theoretically this should be a higher run than 4.2k. So this will be the top solo run as of this video. And then all of you can use this strat basically to get into the leaderboards. You don't really need all the morphs and stuff. You definitely need something to early defend. That's the only thing that you're gonna really need. It's like a Minotaur title is really helpful. But the main thing that you want is gold multiplier. So I have a 389, and that really helped me get to 22 mil at the end, so I can place my Omega Fly for basically permanent now. This should last until I die, which is what we wanted. And if you're going for the top leaderboard spot for solos, you're gonna want to save your reset as long as possible. And if you're wondering about duos, I'm not gonna tell you our duo strat. I'm sorry, I'm just not. That is staying hidden. But this will be the top strat for solos as of now. There can definitely be some probably improvements, just minor adjustments to placements. And if new towers come out then that are better than the current towers that I'm using, then we definitely just switch those out. But this should be the top strategy as of now. You could definitely experiment with Parsniks instead of Moldessas, because there's definitely way better Parsnik spots than Moldessa spots. Like, you could put a Parsnik right in front of this vending machine, like 2 in front of this, and it would hit the whole U. And then you could put 3 over here, and then it hits this whole U. And that might be a little better than Moldessa, but I think Moldessa is the play for now. It requires a lot of testing, but I don't really care enough to do that. This whole strategy is just getting carried off of placements, basically. So I might just cut right here until I hit the reset, because this will take another like 10 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes to get to the reset. So I'll cut to when I'm up there. Okay, so we're back a little bit later, and it's getting close to 5,000 spares. And basically it's just waiting to die at this point. We have everything placed down, everything's maxed. We can't upgrade anything else. And if you're wondering, I cannot upgrade Flowey to level 6. Every time you upgrade him, it just kind of forces you back to 5, or forces you into like a max thing, and it won't let you upgrade. So there's no level 6 Flowey. But essentially, I'm just waiting to die right now. And this should be the highest solo run as of this video. But I bet some of you will be able to beat this, since it's basically, to beat this score, it's basically just RNG. Like, if you're Shiren slow, if you get good spawns on your memory heads, it's basically just RNG if you want to beat this score, which I'm sure some of you will put in the grind to beat this. But I'm not leaking our duo strat, so you're gonna have to figure that one out by yourself. But essentially, I'm just waiting for that reset, and I'll get about 100-ish spares, which will push me pretty high. I might get around like 5,400, 5,300, around that area. Getting pretty close to death here. So if I use my reset earlier, I'm just going to give you an example of why using your reset earlier, if you're going for a top leaderboards run, using a reset earlier is bad. I placed this around like 33,700-ish spares, and it's still up, and it's basically nowhere near running out. Getting that double gold would basically just do nothing for my run. It would just give me like an hour's worth of Omega Flowey, even though I don't need it, because you're just gonna die sooner. You're gonna die sooner than later. So we're just gonna use that reset just to get that 100, get that 100-ish spares more. Also, the reset is also kind of RNG based on how many spares you get. Because if you stack all a bunch of lemon breads and endogamies at the back, you're gonna get around like 120-ish spares. But if you're getting Reaper Birds and Snow Drakes, you're getting pretty unlucky with your spawns, you're only gonna get like 80-ish. So basically just the last 50 spares it's pretty RNG. Also, I muted the music, if you were wondering, because it just gives me copyright every time I do a True Labs video. So I should get the reset a little pretty soon. My previous solo run, I got about 5,200 spares, but I was not using Moldessa, and I used my reset early. So this will be pretty high. My knights were positioned a little bit differently than this, so they were kind of unoptimal. I think the current highest solo run right now is 5,100, so I just beat it right now, and I haven't even used my reset. So you can see how saving your reset and determination is really important for a leaderboards run. I'm about to die right here. Yeah, I'm about to die. Maybe, yeah, okay, die. So I died right here, and you're gonna see I get like a lot of spares in a second. Yep, there you go, 5,200. So right there, that memory head, if I Shiren slowed it like 2 times, I could have killed that. So you could have reset around like 20-ish spares earlier and gotten 20 more than me. But now it's kind of just RNG. So no memory head has that spawn yet, which is that's gonna be the thing to kill me. So the next memory head that spawns is gonna be the one to kill me. So we're just kind of praying that we don't get a memory head spawn for a while. Which we've been pretty lucky so far, which is pretty surprising. This is pretty good RNG. Yeah, no memory heads to spawn. This is really good Okay, this one spawned. Okay, so we're gonna die to this one right here. But that was pretty good RNG on monster spawns. So we should be able to get 5,300, maybe. Or we might die to this path right here. Who knows? We might die to this path. Nah. No, I don't think so. Or we're definitely going to die to... Where is it? This right here. This is going to kill us. So theoretically, you could get super good RNG and no memories heads have spawned so far. And therefore, you would be able to break this. It's all just RNG. This thing is going to kill us. There's no way we're beating it. We might die to it sooner. Maybe. But we should be able to get 5,300 this run. So that means we beat the current solo record with about 200 more spares. Now we're just waiting to die at this point. Yep, this is the thing that's gonna kill us right here. This level 1,320 thing. It's knocking on death's door right now. It's kind of cool that we got Mad Mew this run too. Just showing you how effective level 5 Azrael is. So there we go. We got 5,300. And we're going to die shortly. This video is basically targeted towards leaderboards players and how to really push high into the leaderboards. This is not meant for anyone who's trying to get a 1,000 spares only in Mad Mew Mew, because you will definitely not have this amount of gold in these titles if you're just trying to get 1,000. Also, I would recommend using your reset early if you're just going for 1,000 and not saving it like I did. Also plenty 100 million. So our final spare count is around 5,335, around that area. And I'm going to take a look at the leaderboards just to show you that this was a top run. The current top solo run is 5,100, so we just beat that by like 220-ish, which is a pretty big gap, if I had to say. So that's all for my showcase of how to get 5k plus spares solo. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you for watching.